हेलो व्यूअर्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग। आज मैं जिस वॉरियर की लाइफ स्टोरी लेके आया हूँ, उन्होंने कमीशन किया था ईएमई में, लेकिन यूनिट ज्वाइन करने के बाद उन्होंने एक डीओ लेटर लिखा कर्नल ब्रिटो, जो 9 पैरा एसएफ के सीओ होते थे, और उसमें उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे पैरा एसएफ ज्वाइन करना है। कर्नल ब्रिटो ने उनको बुलाया और इनका प्रोबेशन किया, और बाद में इनकी मेहनत को देख के और इनकी हार्डवर्क को देख के इनको उन्होंने 9 पैरा में इंडक्ट कर लिया। इंडक्ट होने के बाद इन्होंने सबसे पहला ऑपरेशन कुपवाड़ा में किया, और उस ऑपरेशन में इन्होंने 4 अफगानी मिलिटेंट्स को ध्वस्त किया, जिसके बाद उस ऑपरेशन का नाम ऑपरेशन प्रिंस रखा गया। तो अब आप जान गए होंगे, ये जो आज के हमारे वॉरियर हैं वो है मेजर प्रिंस जोस सेना मेडल, और इसी ऑपरेशन के बाद उनको सेना मेडल से भी नवाजा गया। इसके बाद इन्होंने कारगिल वॉर में लड़ाई लड़ी, जहाँ की सैंडो टॉप पर जब ये लड़ाई लड़ रहे थे और उस पर चढ़ाई करने वाले थे, तभी एक इनिमी का आर्टी सेल इनके बीच में, इनकी टीम के बीच में आके गिरा, और ये बहुत दूर जाके 300 मीटर नीचे जाके गिर गए, और उसके बाद ये आधा घंटे तक बेहोश रहे, और जब इनको होश आया तो 15 मिनट तक इनकी मेमोरी भी गायब रही। लेकिन उसके बाद इन्होंने फिर से असॉल्ट किया सैंडो टॉप पर, और उस पर विजय पाई। उसके बाद एक और टॉप, जुलू टॉप पे भी इनको असॉल्ट करना था। उसी बीच में जो मेजर सुधीर वालिया है, अशोक चक्रा एसएम सेना मेडल बार, उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया, और उनकी लीडरशिप में फिर उन्होंने दूसरा असॉल्ट जुलू टॉप पे किया, और वहाँ भी विजय पाई, और इनमी को वहाँ से भगा दिया। इसके बाद में जब कारगिल वॉर ख़त्म हुआ, तब मेजर जोस प्रिंस और मेजर सुधीर वालिया, अशोक चक्रा और सेना मेडल वॉर, दोनों ने मिलकर एक और ऑपरेशन जेएंडके में किया, जहां की मेजर सुधीर वालिया मार्टर्ड हुए, और उनको उस ऑपरेशन में अशोक चक्रा से, उस ऑपरेशन के बाद उनको अशोक चक्रा से नवाजा गया। मेजर सुधीर वालिया के साथ इनका जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा वो इतना मेमोरेबल है, जिसके बारे में इन्होंने अपने इंटरव्यू में मुझे बताया। यदि आप सुनेंगे तो आपके रोंगटे खड़े हो जाएंगे। मेजर सुधीर वालिया एक वो ऑफिसर थे जिनको लोग न कि प्यार करते थे, एडोर करते थे, बल्कि उनको पूजा करते थे, उनके टीम के लोग पूजा करते थे। तो ये सारी कहानियाँ आप मेजर जोस प्रिंस से सुनिए, और आपको रियली बहुत ही फ़ख्र होगा कि किस तरीके के हमारे आर्म फोर्सेस के ऑफिसर्स और स्पेशली स्पेशल फोर्सेस के अफसर्स ने अपना अपना बलिदान दिया है। क्योंकि मेजर जोस प्रिंस आज भी 75% डिसेबिलिटी है उनको, और वो उसके साथ उनमें जज्बा ये है कि आज भी वो बोलते हैं कि अब भी उन्हें बॉर्डर पे जाना पड़े तो वो जाने को तैयार है। थैंक यू सो मच, कीप वॉचिंग, कीप शेयरिंग एंड कीप सब्सक्राइबिंग। थैंक यू।
Nepal reached me, and then he shook me up. So I had a temporary memory loss phase. I lost my memory for 15 minutes. Then on revival, where am I? Who are my types? You see, we went to the, to the scenario where the shell had fallen amidst us, and then there were many injuries which has happened, and 13 of us left. With the remaining troops, we assaulted Sando back again, and we captured Sando. And then we gave the occupation to 33GR, who was on our this thing. Then we got our casualties back to a post which at the foot of the Sando, which was Pathar post. So we had got our casualties there. Everybody was treated. Even I was given stitches and everything. Range of mountains from disseminated from Tololing to Tiger Hill to Sando to Tri Junction to Zulu. Zulu was the last height in that range on the LOC. So by this time, Major Sudhir Walia also joined us. So he led the fight from there. So there we lost four of us, but we captured that height as well.
Welcome, Major Prince, to the show, which I call it Win Life Like a Warrior. So, how are you, Major Prince?
Fine. Good evening. Thanks for having me for this talk. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
प्रिंस, जो सबसे पहले मेरे दिल में जो बात आती है आपसे पूछने के लिए वो ये है कि आपने जो अपनी एजुकेशन शुरू की एक सैनिक स्कूल से शुरू की, जो केरला का एक सैनिक स्कूल है, और उसके बाद में नॉर्मली जो सैनिक स्कूल के बच्चे हैं वो क्या करते हैं कि वो शुरू से वो एनडीए की एग्जाम देते हैं और आर्मी के लिए तैयारी करते हैं, लेकिन आपने चुना बीएससी करने का। आपने बीएससी किया, लेकिन आपका दिल कहीं और था, फिर फाइनली आपने ओटीए के थ्रू आर्मी को ज्वाइन किया। कुछ बताएंगे इसके बारे में?
मैं सैनिक स्कूल करकोटम में था, केरला सैनिक स्कूल से पास आउट किया, एंड देन फिर इधर एसपी कॉलेज में महात्मा यूनिवर्सिटी में मैं डिग्री में कर रहा था. Even that time, my dream was to get into army. There was a couple of reasons for that. One was I would like to stress upon the factor which Captain Paul Paston was in 9 Para SF as a part of 9 Para SF. How his life story motivated me to get into army is one aspect of it. Otherwise, I was doing the studies in my college here. So I was keeping myself physically very active. I was in the cycling team. I've done inter-varsity competitions in cycling, and also I was a bit footballer. In my school itself, I had participated and become the top scorer in the science school football matches, and I was picked up for the Subrata Mukherjee team as well. And then so physically I was very active. I wanted to get back to the force. So after my degrees, I gave CDC ASHOK, and then I came through OTA.
Okay. So all in all, आप फौज को ही ज्वाइन करना चाहते थे और आपने ग्रेजुएशन के बाद फौज ज्वाइन किया, एंड क्योंकि आपका जो सब्जेक्ट था बीएससी था ग्रेजुएशन में, इसीलिए आपको ईएमई, आई बिलीव आपको ईएमई में कमीशन मिला। तो ईएमई में जो कमीशन मिला प्रिंस, बड़ी टेक्निकल आर्म है। आपने पढ़ाई भी वो टेक्निकल की, बीएससी किया, साइंस से किया, लेकिन उसके बावजूद जो एक बड़ी प्रेस्टिजियस अपकमिंग और कंफर्टेबल कंपेयर टू द जो फुट इन्फेंट्री है उसके कंपैरिजन में, लेकिन आपने जो फाइनली जो चूज किया वो एक इन्फेंट्री और एक सोल्जरिंग वाली लाइफ चूज की, उसके पीछे क्या वजह?
ऐसे देखिए, मैं जब अकेडमी से पास आउट हुआ उसी टाइम पे भी मैं इन्फेंट्री इनफैक्ट आई वॉलंटियर्ड फॉर एसएफ. आई वाज मैं उसके लिए मेरा चॉइस दिया, लेकिन उसी टाइम पे because of my science background from where I've graduated, they put me in AMA, and then I continued there. But I always wanted to give a go at the SF thing. I wanted to go for the probation there. There is a pressing reason behind it, because I got attracted to the 4G life because of the legend Captain Paul Bastin. He is known in at least in Nine Paras as a legend, all across his fraternity, we all know him as a go-getter and an achiever. So he had come down for a deep sea diving session in Cochin, and then he passed away. So there was lots of talk about the commando and commando's life and all those things, how adventurous life they live and all, while I was there in school. And Captain Paul Parson is also known to me as a family friend and everything. My own elder brother's name is Paul. So it's somehow connected with me, and so I wanted badly to be in the fighting front. So after my VIOS in EME, I wrote a DO to Col Britto, and I volunteered to be 9 Paris. See, I mean, we had all joined the forces just for the to have a adventurous life. You see, I mean, to have a meaningful life, I can say, and to live the life for a cause which is greater than oneself. You see, I mean, no other profession in India or anywhere can give a better meaning to one's life than living not for himself, not for his state, not for his district, not for his religion, not for his sect, but for the nation. You see, I mean, yeah, you're living a meaningful life when you're living for the nation, sacrificing for the nation. So that I had that thought in me instilled due to my science school past life. So I wanted to get back into that, and there is no other avenue to achieve this than to go into NSF and then be at a friend and then just see if you stand up to it, you measure up to it. So you want to take that chance. So I took that chance. I went there for probation. I got selected. I was in 9 SF and fully trailing the path of Captain Paul Parson, which is a major achievement in my life personally. Okay, personally, it's a personal milestone which I achieved by getting into 9 SF. Yes.
Good. Prince, it's very heartening to listen that, normally people listening such stories that Western, your inspiration or your family friend who passed away while doing some underwater feat, people get disheartened that it is a job where a lot of fear is there, a lot of risk is there. And you are the one, despite knowing that, you decided to join. You got inspired to join the 9 Para SF itself. Viewers, you can understand, जिस ऑफिसर को EME एक वंडरफुल काम कूल एक आर्म्स और सर्विसेज मिल गया था, उसके बाद उसने ऑप्ट किया, उसने डीओ लिखा कि मुझे 9 पैरा एसएफ में आना है. मतलब रिस्क लेने का क्या जज्बा होता है वो मेजर प्रिंस से सीखना चाहिए. So Major Prince, it's really very encouraging for the viewers कि how you can change your life. तो जब आप कर्नल ब्रिटो को आपने लेटर लिखा और वहां से उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट किया और आपको उन्होंने बुला लिया प्रोबेशन के लिए, कुछ बताएंगे प्रोबेशन कैसा रहा मेजर कर्नल ब्रिटो के अंडर में?
When I initiated my request for joining in 9 Para SF, actually from, for obvious reasons, from EME side, they rejected because, no arm would want to part with an officer so easily because of the starvation of the manpower that we generally have in all the cadres that you know.
Yes.
So then I wrote the CO, the DO2 CO, Col Britto, and then once the commanding officer of a SF battalion called somebody for a probation, nobody can stop. So that's how I got my break. So I was there. I ended up doing the probation. Probation was as an eye opener. in the sense that it really tests you. It really tests you against keeping you. But the first thing is, keeping your wits about under challenging circumstances. So it tests you in situations where you yourself are not aware of how much the metal that you hold from within. So this realization would come only if you test yourself against a challenge. So this in plethora, in plenty, you get in while doing the SF probation. That's one thing, and the physical toil alongside the mental tests, where you're keeping your acumen while you're under severe stress is majorly what's been seen through. Obviously, while you are initiated into the probation, your epilepsy are all off, you are without a rank, and then you have to come out as a natural leader to the troops that's doing the probation along with you. So the tests of the military leadership within you can comes to know, whether you measure up and the amount of the quality that you have as a military leader. It will be revealed to you. It will be stark on your face while you do the probation. So everybody is like one, same, and you have to come out as a natural leader. Is a test for yourself. So you're not competing against anybody, but you are like golf. You're basically it's challenging your limits and proving things. So obviously, if I want to say the physical the challenges that one has to go through, I mean, that's many. I don't have to read it because everybody would know. But at the end of it, the real crux of the probation is this: a one-time chance that anybody can get such a thing in life. This is a real test, and then you are put through almost all the kind of challenges, and then at the end of it, you would know that under stress, you can deliver. You will be having a ticking brain even under the highest of the stress level that's given to you. So you'll be able to manage the chaos. The chaos you would be able to manage, and anyone who comes through this process successfully, and even otherwise, who has had this opportunity to go through this challenge and then stick on with it, with this thing, I would say is an asset to any team that he finally belongs to, whether it's inside army, outside army. The kind of challenges that we can handle, and then we are aware that we can handle. That's also one quality. How much can we manage? What's our limit? That limit is tested. So that's the epitome of the self-test that one can have.
Prince, whether during the probation or otherwise, do you recall any personal interaction with Col Britto? If you can bring out something.
Like I have told you, मैंने वो डीओ लिखे थे सीओ साहब को, कल ब्रिटो को कि मुझको प्रोफेशन में ले लो, and then that time Captain Paul Bastin वो बहुत फेमस थे यूनिट में, और उसने कल ब्रिटो वो जब मेरा प्रोफेशन खत्म हो गया तो he did not, before disclosing the results, everybody is kept on waiting, and then everybody is put on tender hooks, whether you're selected, not selected, nobody knows, like we were 100 of us when we joined, and then people started moving out. Finally, we were 8 of us. No, but even then, nobody knew out of the 8 who were going to get selected, who would be we would have to say thanks. And then he took me one day to the officer mess, and then in down below the portrait where in the officer mess where the portrait of Captain Paul Basson is kept, it was a maroon beret onto me. That till then you will be wearing that PK, I mean FS cap. So yeah, the patka we would be putting on the patka. So he tossed me the maroon beret. He called me, Beggar, you come here, you deserve this. And he gave me that. And, and then he gave me the Pelina right in front of the portrait of Captain Paul Basson. That's been one of the wonderful days of my life. You know, I was on cloud nine. And actually, that was how the result was brought to me. It was fantastic, you know. So Col Britto had always had a stark way of uska both management. He had a stark way of conveying things, and he had his own style of conveying things. This was very impactful in my case, at least. You see, that's his signature style. Yeah.
True, true. So during this period when you were in any operation, I heard that one operation which was conducted, Operation Prince. Would you like to tell something about that? And that operation is named after your name.
Yeah. But I've come to know that it's become case studies in institutions and everything. This was in a place called Tilpatra. This is a forested area. So, like the Azad Kashmir, what the POK, certain group of people call it Azad Kashmir. So the militants, those days, you know, the militants who were operating, they used to term this around 50 square kilometer forested area in Tilpatra. They used to call it as Azad Kashmir all by themselves. So I was sent it there. We were sent it there to clean up the mess there a bit and dwindle their presence there. So it was in Tilpatra forest that I did this operation. And thing is that we did a trail analysis of the area. We took out the map, and every day we used to sit down and identify the places where the militants could survive. You know, so these are basic things, but then just for the interest of it, I'll just say, see, if somebody has to survive there in a forested area, in a secluded area, first of all, there has to be a route leading to that place. You see, they cannot be heli dropped or something. So there has to be a route, and then there has to be some source of water from where they draw it. They need to have some kind of a arrangement for the food. It has to be nearby, and then they will have to have a dump for the ammunition and all the stores that they have. So we will see in a map in Tilpatra where is that place where they can be there, and also like which is that area which will give them most of the security, because they want to save themselves from the wrath of the Indian Army soldiers as well. So with this trail analysis, we would know once we go and go enter into the forest, we would know whether a particular path has been traversed by villagers, or is it by 4G. There are ways in which we can come to know, maybe by the footprints. Their footprints might be different, ours would be different, and by reading the twigs, maybe the foliage, the way the dry leaves are there on the ground, we would come to know the movement generally. So trail analysis is a big part of how we track down the militants. So doing all this exercise, being meticulous on the tabletop, plus doing all this track analysis and everything, we try and just launch our own operation search and destroy operations in this. So one such place we homed on, we had a hint that they are there. So what I did was we prepared ourselves, mocking the same kind of scenario. We prepared ourselves. We divided ourselves into two teams. We made a mock hideout, and then we divided ourselves into two teams. One would play as militants, and then one would come as raiding party. That time, when you're sitting as a militant there, you would come to know what kind of signals, audio, sound bites that you can pick up. What are the other signatures that you can see? Even if a bird flies away in certain fashion, you would come to know whether it has flown away scared, or it's a natural flight that the bird has taken. All the signals would be there. So you would come to know, you'll develop all those unchecked skills of your observations while you're playing the militant. And then while you're going in as a raiding party, you would come to know how you'll have to, you cannot just fake, just run and kill your surprise. You see, the balloon cannot go up. So how difficult it is to move each twig and then foliage and everything goes stealthily. Keep your surprise, all to yourself. Surprise is the best weapon in such kind of a scenario. So keep your surprise, how difficult it is, and how expectedly, how fast can you move in such a scenario. So everybody would be in one frame of mind when we discuss how we are going to execute the proper operation. So, and then we change the parties. So everybody gets to learn the intricacies of what we are talking when we are talking, because everybody has gone through this in their mind. This exercise has been conducted, brainstorming each possibilities. So there is huge amount of learning which then goes into those kind of troops, and then we launched finally. So there were 5 Afghani militants who had made this hideout there. So we were like, there were, in any operations, there was hardly any chance, any time that we were not having the upper hand. So all my operations were conducted meticulously. It was not a rash action. Everything was meticulous. For all the operations I took part in, nothing came by chance. Everything was meticulous. There was not even one instance when we were like on a loser side, vis advantage. So always we had the advantage. We enjoyed the advantage because of the meticulous planning. So here also we had the planning all by ourselves. So our troops were well equipped and trained. So it all went as per the plan, and killed 5 Afghani militants there. So I was cited for Sena Medal. So I received Sena Medal in Republic Day.
That's good. That's good. So, Major Prince, who recommended to name this operation as a Prince Operation Prince?
Col Britto named it top Prince and cited me for Sena Medal. Also, the last operation which Major Sudhir Walia did, he named it Op Sudhir,
Okay.
in which he killed 13 militants, and in which Major Sudhir Walia got his ASHOK CHAKRA. We named it Op Sudhir.
Okay. So
this was one way of
recognizing.
Yeah, recognizing his signature move of Col Britto. He had a certain way of making things happen by all systemic approaches. Yes.
So nice of him. So nice of him. So that's a great thing that you were able to kill 4 militants, and finally you were awarded Sana Medal Gallantry for that. Even the operation was named after you. What a phenomenal achievement. So thereafter, Major Prince, I think that Kargil War broke out. So how was your employment there?
Yeah, the Kargil War broke out, and then obviously we were lifted from Upoda side sector into the Kargil sector. We were deployed in a place called Drass, which is in Drass sector, obviously.
Yes, Drass.
Yeah, Drass. So the journey itself, the convoy itself was a memorable event. We were all, boiling at the opportunity to sacrifice. I mean, to act for the nation. That's one thing. But what surprised me, that what lingers more in my mind, was how, while the convoy goes, we would be stopped by civilian friends, and they would throw in bread and then whatever, eatables and everything. They would salute and everything. Even in Pandras, when we reached, the people were so frantic, and then they were so much welcoming, and then they were ushering us up, and they would give up whatever they had in their home and everything. They would just give it to us. They enjoyed our friendship. They wanted this to end. Kind of that kind of friendship which were there existing. It's good. It's fantastic. That we all knew that our nation cares, and then we are going in for the right set of people. You see, yeah, that kind of feeling was given to us. It was fantastic. It was a fantastic feeling. And then at that point onwards, we were never in doubt that we're going to end this impasse. We're going to come out after scoring. This was there. We knew that there would be some toll that is there. See, a soldier's life is nothing but a sacrifice and a ticking brain. You got to sacrifice, you got to have a ticking brain. So that sacrifice part would be there. But then when it's for the nation who cares, it pays. It pays. You are there. You're there. Personally, you are also seeking the validation of your own life. You see, you are validating your own life, and if it's for a cause of a loving nation, a nation that cares, nothing like it. So those were days. The movement to Kargil War, that theater was tremendous.
So Major Prince, how this operation which you conducted in Kargil, what was the composition, and how did you plan that meticulously and finally assaulted them to dislodge the enemy from that post which you are looking for?
Yeah, so those days we had occupied accommodation there in Pantras, and we started with all the basics of reiteration of our preparation to go into the fighting theater. The mega plan was being chalked out by Col Britto, the luminary. He had his own way of getting things done, and then he had his own way of finding where to deploy a ASHOK battalion. There was certain limits and to the employment of a battalion in the form of, whether we can close the LOC and go, all those things were there. So in between, but then he always maintained that when a war is there, and then you are a SF battalion, and the assault per se. This is just for the understanding. See, like commander forces is to go infiltrate and then cause maximum attrition at the rear end. But then if there is embargo on crossing the LOC, then you got to be going in for the assaults. So assaults is generally a manpower intensive exercise, and then it's a traditional infantry role. So, but then while the war is there, how do you fit into the whole gambit with your service, with your sacrifice and the will to serve the nation? So we went in for 2 assaults there in Sando and Zulu. In Sando and both in Sando and Zulu, we captured the heights. In Sando, we lost 13 of us, and in Zulu, we lost 4 of us. In Zulu, Captain Sudhir Walia, Major Sudhir Walia joined us. He was ADC to chief then. He requested General Malik especially to leave of his services there in Delhi and make it possible for him to join us in Kargil War. And he was leading us since the time he joined us. So he led the assault on Zulu. And then in Sando, we were all there. In Sando, actually, when we were moving up the mountain, we were actually daylighted. We thought of hitting the top at night and then carrying out the assault in guise of darkness. But then we were daylighted, and then the enemies could see us from in mountains. The daylight comes pretty early, so we were daylighted, so they could engage us with small arms. And upon seeing us, they also opened up their RT barrage, and then so we had no other choice other than to take a cover. We took a cover in a place called Sadil, and we knew that sitting there all day long with the pounding coming from enemy artillery forces, and then pop shots by the small arms from the enemy troops deployed on top of Sando, is going to be perilous for us. So we also called in our RT to soften the target on top of Zulu. On Sando. So, and then the decision was taken to go ahead with assault under the barrage of RT shells. So we came up against the ice wall. We were moving up the Sando hill under the barrage of RT shells. There was an ice wall which came up in front of us. So there was a requirement to fix a rope on a slope for the entire stick to come up, for the assaulting party to come up. There was a requirement of a fixing up of rope. So I was a mountaineer myself. While I did my attachment with 311 GR, had done a mountaineering expedition in Gurichan, that's in Arunachal Pradesh. So we had scaled that height. So I was a mountaineer myself. So I started fixing up the rope on the slope with the crampons, pitons going into the ice, and then the carabiners and the rope in between, and then the flag shoes with crampons fitted in. I was fighting against the snow, fixing up the thing for the entire party to come up. So this barrage of 40 shells were there. So one such shell just landed 5 meters from me. This is actually an area weapon. On impact fuse, you see, when on impact, it explodes. And it has got a wide killing zone. So one such shell just landed just 5 meters, so just in my vicinity. Thankfully, it didn't go off because of the contour of the slopes, of the mountain slopes, and also the special the breaks that were caused by the snow. So it did have a belly landing, not the nose landing. So the fuse did not go off. So, and we continued dangling in there. So we went up back again, and then another shell. It's landed a bit far from me, but I got hit by the splinter. The pressure only threw me off the slope, and I fell down 300 feet, 100 meters along the slope, and then I was unconscious for half an hour. Then I revived. By this time, my buddy in Nethrupal, he come to me buddy pair, not to stress upon. He came to in search of me, and more than that, fighting shoulder to shoulder, going along the side, shoulder to shoulder along with Sudhir Walia. His chisel as a golden moment in my lifetime. It's like how Major Sudhir Walia is how best a Indian Army soldier can become, and it's my pride and pride position that I had the opportunity to be there along with him through all these challenges. And he was in fact cited for Kirti Chakra for his exploits in Zulu. And then after the Kargil War, we were deployed again in Kupwara back again in militancy operations. And then he was cited for an ASHOK CHAKRA in one of the operations where we were all together. So both put together, he got a ASHOK CHAKRA. So he is now Major Sudhir Walia, ASHOK CHAKRA, and Senaval War. Easily the most decorated Indian Army soldier till date, and the most accomplished. The Indian military leadership at its best. Yes.
No doubt, no doubt. So, besides this Kargil War, Major Prince, when you operated once again with Major Sudhir Walia, where he got the ASHOK CHAKRA, can you just, for the benefit of our viewers, give a little background of that operation and how he got martyred?
Again, it was in Telpatra forest. After the Kargil War, all the troops were kind of rested. They were sent for UN missions and all those peace postings and everything. But then we chose to go back to in the heat of anti-militancy operations back again. So we again went back to border sector, and again ended up in Tilpatra forest. Again, we had the strong hint that there is a militancy hideout built up there. And again, we had practiced and everything. We were coming down, raiding the hideout. We could see the militants clanging there down below. We were very careful to keep the surprise with us. We moved very stealthily, all camouflaged and everything. We moved very stealthily, and there was thick undergrowth of the visibility would have been 5 meters. So adjacent team member was in visible contact, obviously. And there was a team which was coming along with Major Sudhir Walia, and there was a team which was coming with me. We were seeing one-to-one, Major Sudhir Walia and me. And then we were coming down, coping the area without losing surprise, all stealth ensured. Alongside the slope, we were coming down a slope, obviously we would be on a height advantage than the militants who are trying to dug in. And so alongside the slope, there was a bump alongside the slope. So on that bump, there was thick undergrowth. Sudhir Walia met up with a sentry. So he was sitting there, nodding, sitting there. So he was taken by surprise. He never knew what's approaching him. So he came in front of Sudhir Walia. So obviously he took him down. So the moment he took him down, there was the complete loss of surprise, and then the entire operation went on, and then we plastered the area. And by this time, we had taken down 12 militants. And then it so happened that this particular sentry was in body prayer also. So on his teammate getting compromised, he hid himself inside the bush. And he was like their doggo. So while we started mopping up, this guy knew, this time he was alert, and we were with loose guard. And because he was hiding there in the bush. So he took out a burst of fire. So Major Sudhir Walia was there, and then this buddy pair was also there, Major Sudhir Walia's buddy pair. So me being a junior team was standing onto his left, and his buddy pair being junior to me was standing onto my left. So this there was a burst of AK-47 which the militant was hiding in the bush drew. So Major Sudhir Walia was shot in 1, 2, 3, 4 places, and then his buddy pair got a headshot. So, and I was in the middle, so I was somehow spared. So we then took on that element as well, who fired. We took on that element, and he was neutralized. Then we carried, we called in for the HEPTA, like always, Army Aviation. They are the assurance and insurance that for the troops to go in. Always at difficult time, they will create wonders. They once again created a wonder, landing in impossible places. They came and landed in one of the open patch, and then we managed to carry our Walia sir and his body to the HEPTA, and in hospital we did lose him. So he was cited for a ASHOK CHAKRA for his bravery. It was tremendous thing that he can, only Sudhir Walia can do all this. So he was cited for an ASHOK CHAKRA there, and both put together his bravery in Kargil War, for which he was cited KC, and then this operation in which he was cited. Ashok Chakra, both put together, he was given Ashok Chakra Gallant.
God give him really what a courageous officer.
Yeah, the epitome, the best that anyone can become. You see, he was gallant to the core, loved, not loved, adored, not adored, worshipped. Yes, yes, worshipped by his teammates. He was almost like a god, and never, for such people, never have seen him being a strict military disciplinarian or something. Just a note from him is enough for anybody to fall in line. You see, he doesn't have to take any strict military, because people used to owe up to him. You see, that was the aura about him. The troops and everybody. Even the seniors, his aura also fell upon his own seniors. You see, I mean, he had a telling effect on the decisions that were made during the war. His presence itself would take the whole equation in a different way. The way he plans and the things and he execute things, the way the troops adore him, like a godly figure. Like a saint, yes, son. You see, I mean, he had that kind of an aura. He's a pleasing personality. He talks very nice, but he means business, and he talks things which he can execute. Everybody knows that he can execute. He's physically superb. His communication skill-wise, he's again superb. The way he thinks is the logic that he gives out. He's ticking. He's got a great ticking brain that ticks, you see, and the willingness to sacrifice for his team. It's all there written on his sleeves, everything. You see, I mean, he's one of the epitome of the leadership that we can ever hope to have. Gallant, brainy, what else? Charismatic, and he has taken things to another level. And we are happy. I mean, we are blessed that we could at least be there under his shadow. Yes, we enjoyed his shadow. Yes, we were there. We were like follow him in his shadow. Yes.
The privilege to be part of his team.
Yes. Mighty. This is one of the blessings in my life, that I could be there with him. Yeah, it's one of the blessings in my life.
So, Major Prince, in addition to Sudhir Walia and Col Britto, like people in 9th era, there are certain more people like Vivek Jacob, Brigadier Sanjay Thakur, or Colonel Abdesh Kumar, Major General Benz. Anybody whom you can recollect or recall some memories with them?
Yeah, Thakur sir, I know we've from the same unit. Everybody that you just mentioned, all known to me. Vivek is a super, enthusiastic young gentleman. I mean, youngster now. He's he's continued with the pursuit of all the challenges, adrenaline pumps that one would draw from the army life into his civil life as well. He's a great friend of mine, and we were planning things together. Somehow it couldn't materialize because there was this COVID which came up as a spoiler. Yeah. So all these people, but then one name that I would like to include is that of Ashok Chakra. Sir was again is Ashok Chakra. He's also from Nayan. We've heard a lot about him. But because of these two ASHOK chakras that we got, the bravest of the brave uh, citation for the unit, and there are other ASHOK chakras as well. So I mean, these are all veins are obviously we were together in 9. So it was a dream come true in our life for those many years. I know it's written in golden letters, and to say about the gallant minds, gallant souls, which were there. Each one was tried and tested. You see, they've come through the probation, the same kind of setup. Their commitment is easily established through their actions as well as their accomplishments, and then their leadership is natural; it's not imposed. The leadership that all those who came up this way.
Any memories with the Major Jasrotia?
No, Jasrotia sir, actually he had passed away before I joined the battalion.
Okay.
So only heard about him as a true signature thing of 9 para SS. Yeah.
The Prince, then after this 9 para stint which you had and the Kargil War, how did you overcome that, what we call it, a post-traumatic stress disorder? Did you feel it or manage it?
I had certain medical trouble. Yes, that was there. It was no trauma, nothing for us. For Indian soldiers, there is no trauma.
Yeah.
We chose it. We loved it by passion. We chose. It was our choice. You see.
Yes.
And then whatever the result also was our choice. We chose it, and then there was no trauma. We don't play victims. We are never victims. We can never be victims in our entire life. We are never victims.
Yeah.
We enjoyed each moment. Given a chance back again, I'll be doing this thing in much more vigorous fashion. Yes, and PTSD and all is for people who don't.
Yeah.
I mean, take this as a profession. Maybe for us, it was never a profession. It was our life.
Absolutely.
And then
Indian soldier is probably like that.
Indian soldiers, yeah, no way. It's not for Indian soldiers. It's not. It might be for some peacekeeping forces. I don't want to see. I don't want to say it in a different way. But then it's not for Indian soldiers. See, we love our country. We are doing things for our country. You as a kid, you go to the market to buy things for the household. Your mother has sent you to buy things, and then you just fall down, and then you break your knee. Would you cry like some injustice has done to you? No, nothing has been. You love that instance. Yeah, we thankful that. On the contrary, we thankful that the nation gave us this chance.
Mm-hmm.
You see, had I been not there, they've done thousands going up. This is India. This is different.
Yes.
This is India. Those guys who came in for profession, they were also equally vigorous about, intensive about their duty towards discharging their duty towards the nation. They were also equally willing to give the sacrifice. Yes. There are lots of examples. PTSD and all is not for Indian soldiers, but yes, Having said that, on the other side, now we have got this plethora of cases. See, I mean, to keep the morale of the troops who are now in forces, we have to have a robust policy for disabled soldiers, how we treat them, how we manage them, and everything. On that particular score, yes, there has to be some place where it's impassionate, jurisprudent avenue where the rights of soldiers are given to them without asking. I recollect that sentence from Chanakya. People keep quoting the day the soldier has to ask for his wages and everything is a day the Raja loses his moral authority to be the king. The quoting people. Even I feel that. Having said that, there should be a mechanism for the disabled soldiers. I myself is a fighter for the disabled soldiers, and there should be a mechanism where the things which are rightfully theirs should have to be given smoothly without them going to courts. And this is a pathetic scene that I'm seeing across India, that disabled soldiers are being dragged into court. I just cannot believe. If it's there, you give it to them. Just give it to them. Please, you give it to them. This is my appeal to the nation as well. If it's there, if it's their rights, please, you make some kind of arrangement where without going to the courts, people are given their dues. That's very important to keep the morale of the troops. Now I see, I'm also privy to many of the cases where people were dragged to the court to claim their benefits at the twilight of their life. You see, when they're stuck up with a difficult situation, and then their right is being denied. And a right being denied to a disabled soldiers who's sacrificed so much for the nation. I think that in that arena, yes, we need to have a thorough look, and we need to address that issue so that the troops' morale is not affected.
I fully agree with you, Major Prince, that government should have such kind of policies where they smoothly, whatever their dues post retirement or post coming out from the army due to disabilities, physical disabilities, means there should be system where they don't have to run from pillar to post and automatically their dues are given, so that at least they can look after their families and children post their service. And yes, I fully subscribe your point of view. And
there is a minor slip between the cup and lip here. Actually, through the ages, all the defense ministers being those other stated stands of the ruling governments those days, from Parikar, even from the time of Antony and then Parikar and then who has come. They have taken out statements. They have issued out letters saying that MOD shouldn't go appealing against disabled soldiers in settled matters. Okay, if it's not settled matters, the point of law has to be established. Okay, anybody, even a disabled soldier, he is also an equal citizen. Okay, done. There you can go for jurisprudence. But then where it's an established law of the land, mindless litigation by appealing in the higher courts and dragging the poor soldiers through this battery of legal procedures is alarming against the will of the government. I don't know. Even I'm amidst. Where is this slip happening? I'm also amidst. I'm trying to figure out why this is happening. Even when the government is telling MOD not to file, why this repetitive, iterative judicial threat? It's judicial, whatever. I don't want to use strong words, but then this being inflicted on the hapless, poor, disabled soldiers of Indian Army should be a case study. Should be a case study. Somebody has to study this in its totality. There are all hearsays which are there abreast in the environment regarding all the foul play which are there behind, playing behind the scenes in each case. But then this unpardonable, this cannot go on. This cannot go on. Somebody has to stand up, like all the defense ministers and everything. People will have to stand up for the disabled soldiers of India, at least in the case of settled matters which are amply settled in the court, in various courts. This has to be the MOD going in for mindless appeals in various courts across the country should be stopped. Somehow we'll have to find a way out from this. And also the orders which have been passed by AFT somehow lacks its teeth, because it's still debated whether AFT does have the power of contempt or not. And there is some litigation going on in this matter as well. So these things has to be ironed out. These things have to be ironed out, at least for the soldiers, soldiers for the of the nation who've given everything that they have for the love of the nation. So whenever there is not one instance that Indian Army has not stood up to the occasion when it warranted their service, it has stood up and played its part very nice. So let's be very merciful to our wounded soldiers. Yes, there are lots of cases coming out where soldiers have been dragged through the courts. This has to somehow end, and the powers of contempt of court for the AFT has to be reinstated, so that the go-to place for the soldiers, for the disabled soldiers, Armed Forces Tribunal, does have some teeth in executing its own orders. These are two aspects that we need to address ASAP, so that the moral of the Indian Army soldiers are not tarnished.
True. So I hope this concern of yours on behalf of all the disabled soldiers goes to the right people, and they listen to your concern and come out with some viable solution which helps our disabled soldier fraternity so that they find solace after at least doing their service to the nation. Finally, Jate, Major Prince, what would you like to say those viewers and listeners? Normally, our listeners are one who love our Indian soldier, who love our special forces soldiers basically, and they are quite keen. As you rightly said, there are hundreds of people are looking forward to join Indian Army and the armed forces and the special forces per se. Okay, though they should know that first they have to get into the army, then they have to think of joining the special forces. So what would you like to say those people who are listening?
To the senior lord who are there, who's past their age of joining the army, I salute you. you are the reason why every Indian soldier goes out there to defend the pride of the nation because of the love and affection that you people shower on Indian Army. We are truly blessed. And then because we serve a nation which cares. So and the nation is nothing but you all, we all, you see. And there again, salute you from the bottom of my heart for giving us the chance to be there. And it's been a blessing in my life. And to all those who are wanting to join, yes, I tell you, there's only one life. You got to believe it as big as possible. एक ही जिंदगी एक ही है, वो जो सबसे बड़ा तरीके से जीना चाहिए. So there is nothing bigger for a person. See, people can live in different levels. I can live for myself. Okay, I can live for my political party. I can live for my religion. I can live for my region. I'm from some state. I live for that state. I prefer people from that state. You see, I mean, you can live for that region. You can live for an organization. I work for this company. I live for that company. Anything that you can live like that. You can live for a sect. You can live for the all people of India. You can live for all this. I mean, these are all sector-wise, and there is much bigger than all this. How big can you live? You can live for the nation. That's the biggest that it can ever get. So only one life, you live the biggest. So you live for the nation, and nation will give you chance. And there are many people who wants to. This India is such a nation. At least India is blessed with souls like youngsters, young people who wants to join in the ranks to serve the country. Yes. So only one life again. Only one life. Live the biggest. That for an Indian is serving for Indian Army, and stand for its honor, stand for its pride, stand for its morality, and all the wars that we have won so far, all the skirmishes that we are winning, all the fights that we are winning is not because of the kind of person that is there at that scenario. It's not because of the kind of weapons that we have. It's not because of the kind of wherewithal, the resources that we have. We are winning because we are morally high. We are winning because we are always right. Okay, so Indian Army gets a tick in all these aspects. You see, Indian Army gets tick in all these aspects. There is a morally right army. It does exist to serve the nation. Yes, it does exist to seek sacrifice. Yes, it does promote quality. It does recognize ticking brains. Yeah. So all these things get ticked. With regard to Indian Army, I cannot say that about all the armies in the world. No, I cannot say. I cannot easily say that about all the armies. But Indian Army is so special that it gets a tick in all that. The morality, the moral, the actions, the morality that goes behind the action is 100% tick. 100% tick. We don't deceive. We defend. We don't attack. I mean, attack in the sense we don't show aggressiveness to claim a land or something. No, we defend. In defense, we show aggressiveness. In defense, we attack. Yes. We do. Okay. So we are a morally numero uno army in the world. So that's the reason why, if you're blessed, you need to serve in the army. That's a blessing that not everybody can get. That's a blessing. You should, when it's given, you should take it down with both the hands. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Prince, what a message you have given to our viewers that our army is a numero uno. Yes, no doubt. It's highest on the highest pedestal as far as morality is concerned, no doubt. We are always defending. No aggression we have done on any country so far, unless we have to defend ourselves. But we are defensively aggressive. When we have to defend, then we are highly aggressive. There is no doubt in that. Wonderful message, Major Prince. And with this, on behalf of my viewers, whosoever will watch it, and on behalf of me, thank you so much sparing your time, finding. I know that you are working abroad and come for a very short leave to meet your family. And despite that, you found time to converse with me. I'm really grateful and thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much for having me in this forum, and thank you very much for the indulging in all the stories that I had to share. It was great. It was a great happy moment to go through all the reiterate and recapture all those lost memories. Thanks so much, sir. It's been a wonderful experience. Thanks so much for the audience out there. Thanks so much for hosting me, sir. Thanks so much.